Pain is temporary, growth is permanent. Life is full of moments that challenge us, push us to our limits, and sometimes bring us to our knees. These moments often arrive uninvited when we least expect them. The sting of failure, the ache of heartbreak, the frustration of a goal that seems just out of reach. Pain can feel overwhelming. In those moments, it's easy to believe that the struggle will never end, that the weight will never lift, and that maybe, just maybe, we're not strong enough to carry on. But here's a truth that I need you to understand. Pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. The journey of life is built on a series of ups and downs. We are constantly evolving, constantly learning, constantly being molded by the experiences we go through. But this growth is not always comfortable. In fact, it's often the most painful moments that teach us the most. Pain is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength in the making. It's the refining fire that shapes us, that carves out the resilience, the courage, the tenacity we need to thrive. In the heat of the moment, when you're overwhelmed with emotions, it's hard to see the bigger picture. When everything is falling apart, when nothing seems to be going your way, it's natural to want to give up. You might find yourself wondering, why me? Why does this always happen? But let me tell you something. The pain you're feeling right now is not permanent. It is not the end of your story. It is merely a chapter. And just like a storm that eventually passes, your current struggles will eventually subside, leaving you stronger, more capable, and more determined than before. Consider for a moment the process of growth in nature. A seed buried deep in the earth faces intense pressure, darkness, and harsh conditions. Yet, it doesn't give up. It keeps pushing through the soil, breaking through its confines, reaching towards the light. The pressure it faces is real. The struggle is intense, but eventually the seed becomes a towering tree, stronger, more resilient, and capable of withstanding even the harshest storms. Without that struggle, without that painful growth, the tree would never become what it was meant to be. Similarly, your own growth is only possible through the challenges you face. It's easy to look at others and think that their journey was somehow easier. But here's the truth. Everyone faces adversity. Everyone has their moments of doubt and fear. The difference is not in whether we experience pain, but in how we respond to it. The people who achieve greatness, the ones who push past their limits, are the ones who choose to learn from their struggles, not be defeated by them. They choose to embrace the discomfort and the unknown because they know that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Growth is not a linear process. It's messy, unpredictable, and often comes with setbacks. But even in the face of setbacks, growth is happening. Every time you overcome a challenge, no matter how small it may seem, you are evolving. Every time you rise from failure, you are strengthening the muscles of resilience. Every time you take action despite fear, you are conditioning your mind for success. Growth isn't about avoiding pain or avoiding difficulty. It's about how you show up in the face of it. How you choose to respond to the obstacles life throws at you is what determines your future. One of the most powerful things you can do in moments of pain is to change your perspective. Instead of seeing the situation as something that is happening to you, see it as something that is happening for you. The challenges you face are not random. They are opportunities for growth. They are the universe's way of showing you what you are capable of testing your limits and helping you discover the depths of your strength. When you shift your mindset, the pain becomes a catalyst for transformation rather than a roadblock. The greatest leaders, the most successful people, the ones who inspire others, none of them got to where they are by avoiding pain. In fact, many of them faced unimaginable struggles. They lost everything. They suffered deeply, and they endured pain that would have broken most people. But instead of allowing the pain to define them, they chose to rise from it. They chose to learn from it. They chose to use it as fuel for their success. And that's why they are where they are today. It's important to remember that growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that takes time, patience, and persistence. You won't wake up one day to find that all your struggles have magically disappeared, but if you keep pushing forward, if you keep growing through the pain, you will look back one day and realize just how far you've come. The person you are today, the one who has faced hardship, endured setbacks, and fought through moments of self-doubt, is not the person you were yesterday. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you realize. The key to overcoming negative feelings, to moving through the pain and into growth, is to keep going. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how overwhelming the emotions feel, remember that this too shall pass. The feelings of frustration, the sense of failure, the heartbreak, they are temporary. What's permanent is the growth you will experience by pushing through them. You will come out the other side with a deeper understanding of yourself, a stronger sense of purpose, and an unwavering belief in your ability to overcome anything. So, the next time you find yourself in the midst of pain, don't see it as a signal to quit. See it as an opportunity to rise, to expand, to become the best version of yourself. Cry if you need to, but cry with the knowledge that this pain is temporary and your growth is permanent. You are not defined by your struggles. You are defined by your ability to persevere through them. And with every challenge you face, you move one step closer to the person you were always meant to be. Remember, pain is part of the process. It is a sign that you are pushing your limits, growing, and evolving. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you toward a future full of strength, resilience, and limitless potential. Your growth is inevitable, and it is waiting for you on the other side of your pain. Rewiring your mindset is not just about changing the way you think. It's about transforming the way you perceive the world, the way you respond to challenges, and how you see yourself. The human mind is incredibly powerful, but like any tool, it must be maintained and sharpened to be used effectively. The truth is, most of us operate on autopilot, guided by old patterns of thought, limiting beliefs, and habitual reactions to the world around us. These patterns may have served us at one point, but they are often outdated and no longer serve our highest potential. Rewiring your mindset means reprogramming those old patterns and creating a new way of thinking, one that aligns with the person you want to become and the life you want to live. The first step in rewiring your mindset is recognizing that your thoughts shape your reality. What you believe about yourself and the world around you determines your actions, your results, and ultimately your destiny. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that life is unfair, you'll begin to internalize those beliefs and act in ways that reinforce them. But if you choose to believe that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to, that you have the strength to overcome any challenge, and that life is full of opportunities, you will start to see the world through a different lens, one that is filled with possibility. Rewiring your mindset starts with awareness. You must first become aware of the negative thought patterns that are holding you back. These thoughts may be deeply ingrained, and they might feel automatic. However, just because they are automatic doesn't mean they are true or helpful. In fact, many of our most persistent beliefs are based on past experiences, fears, or stories we've told ourselves that are simply not true. For example, maybe you've faced failure in the past and internalized the belief that you're not capable of succeeding. Or perhaps you've experienced rejection and now believe that you'll never be accepted or loved. These beliefs, while understandable, are not truth. They are simply old patterns of thinking that have been reinforced over time. Once you become aware of these limiting thoughts, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it helping me move closer to my goals? More often than not, you'll find that the negative thoughts you've been holding onto are not based on any factual evidence. They're simply stories that your mind has created. If you want to change your life, you must begin by questioning and dismantling these beliefs. Every time you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought, stop and ask yourself if it's true. Challenge the belief and replace it with a new, empowering thought that better serves your goals. Over time, this new way of thinking will begin to feel more natural, and your old negative patterns will lose their grip on you. One of the most powerful ways to rewire your mindset is through affirmations and visualization. Positive affirmations are simple, positive statements that you repeat to yourself every day. These affirmations help to shift your mindset from one of self-doubt to one of self-belief. For example, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, replace that thought with, I am more than capable of achieving my goals and I deserve success. Repeating these affirmations daily helps to reprogram your subconscious mind, gradually replacing the negative beliefs with positive ones. Vitalization is another powerful tool for rewiring your mindset. Take a few moments each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding in the area of your life that you want to improve. Picture yourself overcoming obstacles, achieving your goals, and feeling the emotions of success. The more vividly you can imagine yourself achieving your goals, the more real it becomes in your mind. This mental rehearsal not only boosts your confidence, but also activates the part of your brain that controls motivation and action. When you see yourself succeeding, your brain believes it's possible, and you start to take the necessary steps to make it a reality. It's also important to understand that rewiring your mindset requires consistency and patience. Change doesn't happen overnight, especially when it comes to changing deeply ingrained thought patterns. You won't be able to shift your mindset in a single day or even a single week, but if you commit to doing the work day in and day out, the change will come. It's the small, consistent actions that create lasting transformation. Think of it like building a muscle. You don't get stronger by lifting weights once in a while. You get stronger by lifting consistently week after week. The same goes for your mindset. The more you practice replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, the stronger your new mindset becomes. Another key to rewiring your mindset is embracing failure as part of the process. Many of us are afraid of failure, but in reality, failure is one of the most important tools for growth. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count. What sets them apart is their ability to see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as a valuable lesson that helps them grow. When you change your mindset to embrace failure as a stepping stone on the path to success, you free yourself from the fear of making mistakes, and you give yourself the permission to try new things, take risks, and learn from your experiences. Failure is not a sign of weakness. It's an indication that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone and expanding your capabilities. One of the most transformative shifts you can make in rewiring your mindset is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are static. They are what they are, and you either have them or you don't. In contrast, a growth mindset is based on the belief that you can improve through effort, learning, and perseverance. When you adopt a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than as obstacles to avoid. You see setbacks as part of the learning process, and you recognize that your potential is limitless. Finally, to truly rewire your mindset, it's important to surround yourself with people who support your growth. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by negative, pessimistic people who doubt your potential, it will be much harder to maintain a positive mindset. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who encourage you, challenge you, and believe in your dreams, you'll be more likely to stay focused, motivated, and positive. The energy you surround yourself with can either uplift you or drag you down, so choose your circle wisely. Rewiring your mindset is a powerful tool for transforming your life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to change your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. It's about taking responsibility for your mindset and making the decision to choose thoughts that support your success. By challenging your limiting beliefs, embracing failure, practicing daily affirmations and visualization, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you can rewire your mindset and unlock the unlimited potential that lies within you. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Nurture it, and it will lead you to extraordinary success. Emotions are often viewed as something to be controlled or managed. especially in difficult situations. We're taught to suppress them, to stay composed, and to focus on logic rather than feeling. But what if I told you that emotions are not something to avoid or suppress, but rather something powerful to harness? What if the very emotions that you often view as obstacles or weaknesses are actually the key to unlocking your greatest potential? The truth is, emotions are a form of energy, and when you understand how to tap into that energy, they become one of your most powerful tools for success. Every emotion you experience, from joy and excitement to fear and frustration, carries energy. This energy doesn't just stay inside you, it radiates outward, influencing your thoughts, actions, and even the people around you. Think about it. When you're excited or passionate about something, it's contagious. Your enthusiasm sparks others, and it fuels your actions, pushing you to move forward, to create, and to achieve. On the flip side, when you feel angry, sad, or defeated, that energy can also drive you, but often in ways that keep you stuck in negative cycles. Your emotions are like a river. Either they can flow freely and guide you forward, or they can become dammed up, causing stagnation. To harness the power of emotional energy, the first step is recognizing the energy behind your emotions. Every emotion is simply a form of energy that has been triggered by your thoughts, your beliefs, and your perceptions of the world. For example, anger is often linked to a perceived injustice or frustration with a situation, while fear arises from our thoughts about something uncertain or dangerous. Both emotions, though uncomfortable at times, have the potential to fuel change. When you feel anger, for instance, you might be driven to take action, to stand up for yourself, or to change something in your life. When you feel fear, it's often a sign that you're about to step into unknown territory, and the energy of fear can fuel courage and determination. The key is to learn how to channel this emotional energy rather than allowing it to control you. Too often we react to our emotions without thinking, becoming overwhelmed by them, acting impulsively, or letting them dictate our behavior. But the most successful people in the world don't suppress their emotions, they channel them. They recognize the energy beneath the feelings and use it as motivation to drive them toward their goals. For instance, if you feel anxious about a major presentation or event, instead of letting that anxiety hold you back, you can use that nervous energy to prepare more thoroughly, to practice more intensely, and to bring your best self to the table. That anxiety, if directed properly, can be transformed into focus and action. Another powerful aspect of emotional energy is the connection between your feelings and your actions. We all know that our actions often stem from how we feel. When we're inspired, we take bold steps. When we're discouraged, we hesitate. But here's the secret: you can choose how to act regardless of how you feel. Emotions don't have to control you. You have the ability to decide how you respond. It's about shifting your mindset from being at the mercy of your emotions to being the one in control of them. When you do this, your emotional energy becomes a tool that works for you rather than against you. One powerful way to direct emotional energy is through intention. Intentions are the guiding force behind everything you do. They serve as the compass that directs your emotional energy in the direction you want to go. If you wake up in the morning feeling tired, frustrated, or unmotivated, you can set the intention to shift those feelings by choosing to focus on what you're grateful for or what excites you about the day ahead. You begin to change the direction of your emotional energy. It's like redirecting a powerful current of water toward a new path. Once you set the intention, the flow of energy follows. Mindfulness is another tool that helps in the process of channeling emotional energy. By becoming mindful of your emotions as they arise, you can choose how to respond in a calm and centered way. Instead of reacting impulsively, mindfulness allows you to pause, observe, and assess how you want to use the emotional energy you're experiencing. For example, if you're feeling angry, instead of immediately reacting, you can pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is this anger telling me? Is there something I need to change? How can I use this energy to create something positive? This simple act of mindfulness shifts the focus from the emotion itself to your ability to control how it impacts your actions. Emotional energy is also linked to your physical state. We all know that emotions can affect our bodies. Stress can lead to tension and aches, while happiness can make us feel light and energized. But what if you could use this connection to your advantage? When you feel overwhelmed or sluggish, one of the best ways to shift your emotional state is through physical movement. Exercise, dancing, or even a brisk walk can instantly change your emotional state by releasing endorphins and shifting your energy. When your body is in motion, your emotions begin to flow more freely, and you may find that your thoughts clear up and your actions become more aligned with your goals. Physical movement is a powerful tool for transforming negative emotional energy into something that propels you forward. One of the most effective ways to harness the power of emotional energy is through positive self-talk. What you tell yourself in moments of difficulty has a huge impact on the energy you generate. If you continually say, "I can't do this, I'm not good enough," or "this will never work," you are feeding your emotional energy into negativity, which only keeps you stuck. But if you shift your self-talk to something more empowering, like, "I am capable of handling this challenge," or "every setback is a setup for a comeback," you create a positive feedback loop that fuels your confidence and determination. The words you speak to yourself are the foundation of the emotional energy you create, so choose them wisely. Ultimately, emotional energy is about self-mastery. It's about recognizing that your emotions are not just random feelings, but valuable signals that can guide you toward greater clarity and action. When you learn how to harness and direct your emotional energy, you become unstoppable. You no longer feel like a victim of your feelings, you feel like a master of your destiny, using the power of emotion to fuel your progress and success. In moments of challenge or discomfort, remember this: your emotions are not a burden, they are your allies. The energy they bring is powerful and transformative. All you need to do is learn how to channel it in the direction of your dreams. The next time you face adversity, don't shy away from your feelings, embrace them, understand them, and use them to propel you toward your goals. Your emotional energy is a force to be reckoned with. When you learn to control it, there's nothing you can't achieve. Developing an unshakable belief in yourself is one of the most powerful tools you can possess in the pursuit of success. It's the foundation that supports every action you take, every decision you make, and every challenge you face. Without this belief, even the most well-laid plans or the most extraordinary goals can fall apart in the face of adversity. The world, as we know, will test you. Life has a way of throwing obstacles in your path that challenge your resolve, that make you question whether you're capable of achieving what you desire. But when you develop unshakable belief in yourself, you can weather any storm and continue moving forward despite the difficulties that arise. This belief doesn't come overnight. It's not something you can simply wish for or hope to find one day. Developing a belief in yourself is an ongoing practice that requires commitment, self-reflection, and a relentless mindset. The first step toward cultivating unshakable belief is understanding that belief is a choice. It's not something that happens to you, but something that you decide. Most of us are conditioned by past experiences, by failures, by the opinions of others, and by the things we've been told about our abilities. We grow up with self-doubt, limited thinking, and a fear of failure. This external conditioning creates a foundation of uncertainty that can deeply affect how we view our potential. But the good news is that you don't have to rely on these external influences to form your belief. You have the power to choose what you believe about yourself. It's essential to recognize that belief in yourself is not an inherent trait that you either have or don't have. It's a muscle that you build over time. Just like physical muscles need consistent exercise to grow stronger, your belief needs nurturing care and reinforcement. The more you practice believing in yourself, the stronger your belief becomes. This process begins with taking responsibility for your thoughts and actions. You cannot rely on anyone or anything outside of you to build your belief. It's something that must come from within. This means taking ownership of your choices, your mindset, and your emotions. When you consistently choose to trust in yourself, in your abilities, even in the face of doubt, you build a foundation of confidence and belief that will support you through every challenge Another critical component in developing unshakable belief is learning to trust in your abilities even when they're not yet fully developed. Most people avoid taking risks or stepping into new opportunities because they fear failure or inadequacy. They wait for the perfect moment, believing that they need to have everything figured out before they can take action. But true belief doesn't require perfection. It requires trust in your ability to grow and learn. When you believe in your potential to evolve, you understand that failure is not a setback, it's a learning experience that propels you towards success. You trust that even if things don't go as planned, you have the resilience and resourcefulness to adapt and keep moving forward. When you step into new situations with a mindset that says, I am capable of learning and growing from this, you create the space for success, even in the most uncertain circumstances. The path to unshakable belief is also deeply tied to self-acceptance and self-love. In order to believe in yourself, you must first accept who you are in this moment. Flaws, imperfections, and all. This doesn't mean you stop striving for improvement, but it does mean that you have stopped judging yourself for your perceived shortcomings. Self-acceptance is not about being complacent. It's about acknowledging that you are worthy of success, love, and happiness just as you are. Too often people struggle with self-belief because they have a deep-seated belief that they're not good enough or that they need to be someone else to be successful. The truth is that your worth is inherent. You are worthy of success, happiness, and all the good things life has to offer simply because you are you. When you accept yourself, you stop holding yourself back, you free yourself from the chains of self-criticism and perfectionism, and you open the door to self-belief. An essential aspect of developing unshakable belief is setting small, achievable goals and celebrating your progress. Belief is built on momentum, and nothing creates more momentum than achieving your goals, even the small ones. Too often we set grandiose goals and focus only on the end result, which can cause frustration when we don't see immediate progress. But by breaking your larger goals down into smaller, more manageable steps, you create a path that leads to success. Each time you achieve one of these smaller goals, no matter how small it may seem, you are reinforcing your belief in yourself. You begin to prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can take action and achieve what you set out to do. It's the accumulation of small wins that builds the unshakable belief in your ability to accomplish anything. Equally important in this process is learning to manage your inner critic, that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you can't do it, or that you'll fail. We all have an inner critic, but it's how we handle that voice that makes all the difference. When you develop unshakable belief, you learn to quiet that inner critic, to challenge its false messages, and to replace it with empowering thoughts that support your growth. One way to do this is by practicing self-compassion. Instead of berating yourself when you make a mistake or encounter a setback, offer yourself the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend in a similar situation. When you treat yourself with compassion, you not only foster belief, but you also build resilience. You learn that you can fall down, get back up, and still keep moving forward. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another powerful strategy for developing belief. It's easy to doubt yourself when the people around you don't support you or when you're surrounded by negativity. You must intentionally create an environment that nurtures and strengthens your belief. This could mean seeking out relationships with people who encourage, motivate, and inspire you, or it could mean limiting your time with those who drag you down. When you surround yourself with people who believe in your potential, their belief can help reinforce your own. Additionally, consuming positive content, whether that's books, podcasts, or videos, can provide you with the mental and emotional fuel to keep going when the journey gets tough. Finally, developing unshakable belief requires perseverance and patience. It's easy to be motivated and confident when things are going well, but true belief is tested when challenges arise. The key is to stay committed to the process, even when things don't go according to plan. Success rarely comes in a straight line. It's filled with detours, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But when you believe in yourself, you understand that these obstacles are simply part of the journey. They do not define you or your abilities. They are merely opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. In conclusion, developing unshakable belief is a lifelong process that requires dedication, patience, and a willingness to trust in your abilities. Belief in yourself is not about having all the answers or being perfect. It's about trusting your potential to learn, grow, and overcome whatever challenges life throws at you. Your belief becomes the foundation upon which you build your success, and it will carry you through even the most difficult of times. Commitment to your vision is one of the most transformative actions you can take in your journey towards success. It's easy to set goals, to have dreams, and to feel excited about the possibilities. But true success comes from committing to your vision with an unwavering, relentless determination. It's about putting your entire heart, mind, and soul into your aspirations and being willing to do whatever it takes to make them a reality. The road to achieving your dreams is rarely smooth, and obstacles, setbacks, and doubts will inevitably arise. What separates those who achieve their vision from those who give up along the way is the ability to stay committed even when the path gets tough. When you commit to your vision relentlessly, you are making a decision to never back down, to push forward despite the odds, and to remain focused on the end goal, no matter what challenges come your way. This kind of commitment is not casual or half-hearted. It's a full-body experience, an inner fire that drives every thought, action, and decision you make. It's a declaration that you will not allow anything, fear, failure, doubt, or discomfort to deter you from your mission. This level of commitment is what turns dreams into tangible results and transforms goals into accomplishments. At the heart of this commitment is clarity. You cannot commit to something you are not clear about. When you have a crystal clear vision of what you want to achieve, your commitment becomes anchored to something real, something specific, and something meaningful. The more precise and vivid your vision, the more committed you become. When your vision is clear, it serves as a constant reminder of why you're doing what you're doing, and it provides you with the direction and focus you need to keep moving forward. This clarity allows you to prioritize your actions and decisions, ensuring that everything you do is aligned with your vision. Without clarity, you'll find yourself drifting, making half-hearted efforts, or getting sidetracked by distractions. But when you know exactly where you're going and why, your commitment is unwavering. The power of visualization cannot be overstated when it comes to commitment. Every successful person has a vision in their mind of what they are working toward, and they can see it in vivid detail. When you constantly visualize your vision, you reinforce your commitment to it. You start to feel the emotions associated with achieving your goal, whether that's pride, joy, satisfaction, or fulfillment. By imagining the outcome of your vision, you are emotionally investing in it. This emotional investment strengthens your resolve and keeps you focused when challenges arise. Visualization creates a strong mental image of your success, and this mental image acts as a guide that pulls you forward even when times get tough. One of the most important aspects of committing to your vision relentlessly is developing a strong sense of purpose. When your purpose is bigger than just yourself, when it's about serving others, making a difference, or creating something of lasting value, it fuels your commitment in a way that personal desires alone cannot. Purpose provides you with the drive to keep going even when you face difficulties, because you know that the struggle is worth it. It gives you a deeper reason to persevere through obstacles. Your purpose becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded when the winds of doubt try to shake you. When your commitment is tied to a purpose greater than personal gain, it becomes impossible to walk away because you know the impact of what you're doing. Relentless commitment also requires an unwavering belief in your abilities. The journey toward achieving your vision will present plenty of moments when you doubt yourself. You may question whether you have what it takes, whether you're capable of handling the demands of your dreams, or whether you deserve to succeed. These doubts are natural, but they cannot dictate your actions. Relentlessly committing to your vision means you choose to believe in yourself, regardless of the challenges, mistakes, or temporary failures you might encounter along the way. It's about trusting that you are resourceful enough to find solutions, resilient enough to bounce back, and strong enough to stay the course. Belief in yourself is the fuel that drives the engine of your commitment. If you don't believe in your ability to achieve your vision, you'll lack the strength and resilience needed to keep pushing forward. As another critical element of relentless commitment is the ability to embrace discomfort and sacrifice. The pursuit of any meaningful goal involves discomfort, whether it's stepping out of your comfort zone, working long hours, or facing personal limitations. Relentless commitment requires that you push through these uncomfortable moments with perseverance. It's not about avoiding discomfort, but about accepting that growth comes from stepping outside of what's easy. Commitment means that you are willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gains. This could mean giving up time with friends and family, sacrificing immediate gratification, or facing fears head-on. When you are truly committed, you know that the sacrifice you make today will pay off in the future, and you're willing to endure the temporary discomfort for the sake of your greater vision. Consistency is another vital component of relentless commitment. It's easy to commit to something for a day, a week, or even a month, but true commitment requires consistency over the long haul. It's about showing up day after day, even when the results are not immediate or when the journey feels monotonous. Commitment is about building habits and systems that support your vision and sticking to them, even on days when you don't feel like it. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is often a matter of consistency. Success is the result of many small, consistent actions compounded over time. It's about making progress each day, no matter how small, and maintaining that momentum, even when you don't see immediate results. As you continue to commit to your vision relentlessly, you will undoubtedly face challenges and setbacks. It's important to understand that failure is not the end, it's part of the process. Commitment doesn't mean you won't encounter obstacles, but it means that you'll keep moving forward despite them. Relentless commitment requires a mindset that views setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than reasons to quit. Each failure is a lesson in disguise, an opportunity to refine your approach, adjust your strategy, and get one step closer to your goal. The most successful people are those who have experienced failure but have chosen to persist. They view failure not as a reflection of their abilities, but as a stepping stone towards success. When you commit to your vision, you develop the resilience to face setbacks without losing momentum. One of the most powerful aspects of relentless commitment is that it inspires others. When you fully commit to your vision, others will take notice. Your energy, determination, and passion are contagious, and people are drawn to those who live with purpose and conviction. Whether you're leading a team, building a business, or simply pursuing personal goals, your commitment becomes a beacon that inspires those around you. Your actions speak louder than words, and when others see your unwavering commitment, it motivates them to take action toward their own goals. Your commitment becomes a ripple effect that spreads out, influencing others to pursue their visions with the same tenacity. In the end, commitment to your vision is about staying true to yourself and refusing to give up. No matter what happens along the way, it's about making the decision that you will not allow any obstacle, fear, or doubt to deter you from your goal. The road may be long and it may be filled with obstacles, but the rewards of relentless commitment are worth every challenge you encounter. Your vision is the beacon that will guide you through difficult times, and your commitment will be the force that propels you forward. When you commit to your vision relentlessly, there is nothing that can stop you from achieving it. The future belongs to those who are willing to commit, sacrifice, and persist until their vision becomes their reality. The ability to transform setbacks into comebacks is one of the most empowering skills you can develop on your journey to success. Setbacks are an inevitable part of life. No matter how carefully you plan, no matter how determined you are, challenges will arise. How you respond to those setbacks. However, will determine whether they define you or propel you toward greater success. A setback can be a momentary pause, a stumbling block, or even a temporary failure, but it doesn't have to be the end of your journey. In fact, it can be the beginning of something far greater. At the core of transforming setbacks into comebacks is mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world, and it plays a pivotal role in how you respond to adversity. A fixed mindset, one that views failure as a reflection of personal inadequacy, will likely keep you stuck in frustration and defeat. On the other hand, a growth mindset, one that sees challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, will turn a setback into an invaluable lesson and a stepping stone to success. With a growth mindset, you believe that abilities, intelligence, and success are not fixed, but can be cultivated through effort, perseverance, and learning. When setbacks occur, you see them not as signs that you aren't good enough, but as signals that you need to adjust, refine your approach, or acquire new skills to move forward. The first step in transforming a setback into a comeback is acceptance. This doesn't mean resignation or passivity, but rather acknowledging that setbacks are a natural part of the process. Life is full of ups and downs, and there's no way to avoid the inevitable challenges that will test you. The sooner you accept that failure is not only normal, but necessary for growth, the sooner you can move past the initial disappointment or frustration. When you resist or deny the setback, you prolong the negative emotions associated with it. But when you accept it and face it head on, you create the emotional space needed to take action and regain control. Acceptance is the foundation that allows you to shift your energy from victimhood to empowerment. It enables you to focus on what you can control rather than dwelling on the aspects that are beyond your influence. And when you accept a setback, take responsibility for your role in it. This is not about self-blame or criticism, but rather about taking ownership of your actions, decisions, and the outcomes they produce. Often when setbacks occur, we can be quick to point fingers at external factors, other people, circumstances, or even bad luck. However, true transformation comes when we step into our personal power and recognize that even if we didn't directly cause the setback, there's always something we can learn from it. By taking responsibility, we gain insight into what went wrong and what changes we need to make in our approach. This proactive mindset helps you feel empowered to make adjustments, learn from your mistakes, and take the necessary steps to move forward. Taking responsibility is not about beating yourself up, but about taking control of your future action. After taking responsibility, the next step is reframe the setback. Reframing is a powerful mental tool that allows you to change the narrative you tell yourself about the setback. Instead of viewing it as a failure or a permanent roadblock, reframe it as an opportunity to learn, grow, or adapt. For example, if you encounter a business failure, instead of thinking, I'm not cut out for this, reframe it as, this is a valuable lesson that will teach me what doesn't work, and now I can refine my strategy. Every setback contains within it the seed of a lesson, and it's up to you to find it. When you reframe setbacks in this way, they become growth experiences rather than deterrents. This mindset shift is crucial because it allows you to extract value from every challenge, no matter how difficult or discouraging it may seem at first. Resilience is another essential quality that allows you to transform setbacks into comebacks. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to recover quickly from setbacks, and to keep going even when it seems easier to quit. Resilient people are not immune to failure or disappointment. They experience the same struggles as anyone else. The difference is that they refuse to let those struggles define them. Instead of viewing failure as an endpoint, resilient individuals see it as a temporary setback, a brief pause before they rise again. Resilience is built through experience. Each time you face a challenge and overcome it, you strengthen your ability to handle future obstacles with grace and perseverance. The key is not to avoid setbacks, but to develop the ability to weather them with strength, determination, and a belief in your ability to recover and grow. Another powerful tool in transforming setbacks into comebacks is persistence. Persistence is the fuel that keeps you going when the journey gets tough. It's about continuing to take action, even when things don't go as planned. It's easy to give up when you encounter setbacks. It's tempting to throw in the towel and walk away, but true success comes to those who are persistent or refuse to let temporary challenges prevent them from reaching their goals. Persistence is not about blindly pushing forward, but about having the courage and determination to keep taking small, consistent steps, even in the face of adversity. When you are persistent, you cultivate the resilience needed to overcome setbacks and turn them into opportunities for growth. Once you've reframed the setback and adopted a mindset of resilience and persistence, the next crucial step is developing a plan for recovery. It's not enough to simply acknowledge the setback and hope things improve on their own. You need to take deliberate, actionable steps to move forward. This involves assessing the situation, identifying what went wrong, and making adjustments to your approach. Perhaps you need to acquire new skills, seek out additional resources, or collaborate with others. The key is to take proactive steps toward your goal, no matter how small they may seem. Creating a plan of action gives you a sense of direction and purpose. And it helps you regain your confidence by showing you that you are capable of taking control of the situation. An often overlooked but critical aspect of transforming setbacks into comebacks is the power of mindset and emotional regulation. When setbacks happen, it's natural to feel emotions like frustration, anger, sadness, or fear. These emotions are valid, but how you manage them will determine whether they fuel you or drain you. Instead of letting negative emotions take over and dictate your behavior, focus on shifting your emotional state. This can be achieved through simple practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, or journaling. When you regulate your emotions, you create the space for clarity and creativity, allowing you to approach the setback with a calm, focused mind. You also reduce the likelihood of making impulsive decisions driven by negative emotions, which can further hinder your progress. By maintaining a positive, solution-focused mindset, you enhance your ability to turn setbacks into comebacks. Firmly celebrate your resilience and progress, no matter how small it may seem. The act of celebrating small victories along the way reinforces your ability to overcome adversity and reinforces your belief in your own strength. Every time you turn a setback into a comeback, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. Each victory, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a testament to your persistence, resilience, and determination. These small celebrations keep you motivated and help you stay focused on the progress you've made rather than dwelling on the challenges you've faced. In conclusion, transforming setbacks into comebacks is not only possible, but is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting success. Every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. By cultivating the right mindset, embracing resilience and persistence, and taking action, you can turn any setback into a powerful springboard toward your next success. The key is to stay committed, maintain your belief in yourself, and continue moving forward, knowing that each setback brings you one step closer to your goals.